congratulations. Congrats to your family. I think you have a very strong background. You've been a great example in many ways. I look forward to being a strong supporter of yours and your confirmation. I wanted to kind of take the question in a different direction. I had Secretary Austin in Alaska, hosted him there about 10 days ago. You know, the best part of those kind of trips when our military leaders, civilian or uniform, come to my state, get to meet the community. It's so supportive. But really, really, the best part was just meeting the troops and the Army, airmen, others. So impressive, you know, black, white, native, non-native. You know, in the military, we don't talk about skin color. We talk about, are you good or not good? And damn it, these men and women are the best, and their families too. I think they're the best and brightest, most patriotic group of people we have in the country. It was great to show them off to the Secretary of Defense. Would you agree with me on that, given your experience?
Yes,
and the
Senator.
families, by the way. I know they're
Absolutely.
Here. Good. I do too. You know, there's been this narrative, to be honest, it's post-January 6 issues in the media, some political commentators, unfortunately, maybe even some elected leaders, that somehow the military is filled with extremists and supremacists. And, you know, pick up the Washington Post. They love to kind of fan the flames of this. No data ever presented, but it's always out there. It's the new narrative that our men and women, heck, we had an undersecretary testify here that one of his top priorities was to stamp out systemic racism within the ranks. When I asked him, you ever served in the ranks? No. Do you have data to back up that claim? It's pretty broad, aggressive claim. No, I have no data. So there's even one baloney estimate out there. 10% of the force, supposedly, by some, I don't know who estimated it, but it was repeated in a hearing here, that 10% of the force is extremists in the military, supremacists. That's hundreds of thousands of troops. Do you believe that that's 10%? I don't even think it's, but I want to know what you think.
Well, Senator, I can talk about Army North, which is what I'm in command of, and Fort Sam.
But I mean, you're a 3-star general getting ready to be a 4-star general. In your experience, you think it's even remotely? Let me give you an example. We had 2 combatant commanders here. I put that number out. They said not only no, but given the vetting that goes on in their commands, they doubt there were any extremists. What's your view?
Well, Senator, just in terms of my perspective, I never say never, but in terms of my command and at Fort Sam Houston in Texas and the command of Army North, and certainly we've gone through the extremism training, how to identify it, how to report it, and those sorts of things. And we have not had any reports within my command, which is what I can speak about.
In your Army experience, 10%, you think that's even remotely in the ballpark? I don't. It's really important to me, and I think you can just say it. Say no if you don't think so. Do you think tens or thousands, hundreds of thousands of military members fall into that category?
I don't.
In your experience?
I don't. In my experience, no, Senator.
Yeah, me either. So now, when those generals made that statement, evidently some political guy in the Pentagon came out the next couple days saying, oh, the generals are wrong. I think these generals had over 80 years of experience, but somehow they're wrong. Here's my question, and I think it should be an easy one. Will you commit to me and this committee to stand up for our troops? You know them, you're part of them. When such unsubstantiated claims come from political appointees, members of Congress, the media, I think it's really important to have our uniformed military, even though, you know, let's face it, in today's environment, it takes a little courage, just so say, no, that's not what I know. That's not what I understand. Can you commit to me, as you become a 4-star general and combatant commander, to stand up for our troops on what you think is really the truth on this? Because it's really important, and the narrative out there really undermines morale of the troops and the families. These are the best men and women in the country, and yet they're being besmirched with no data on somehow they're a bunch of extremists, will you commit to me in this committee, when that comes up, and it will, that you look whoever's telling you in the eye and say, no, that's not true. That's not my experience. Get some data and we can discuss it. But it's a really important issue. Can I get your commitment on that, General?
Absolutely, Senator. I give you my commitment, and I will speak about what I know about and what I'm in command about, or in command of, Senator.
Good. I look forward to supporting your confirmation, and we'll be asking additional questions for the record. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank